Bread's Dark Souls 3 Lorerun. I am French Bread, or Chris if you prefer. And here we are once again, just soaking in the vistas on top of the bridge connecting to the bell tower. We came back here because we wanted to still check out what's going on top of the roof here. If we walk over here, we can kick down this ladder, forever have a shortcut. Don't have to do tree jumping shenanigans. As you see, yeah, we know. At the top of the shrine, we have the full nest. And since we're here, may as well get Lucatiel's mask. Mask attached to a ceremonial hat. A hollow once fought valiantly with this mask, but feared the fading of herself, and implored a comrade to remember her name. Perhaps that is why this gentleman's mask is named after a woman. Fair enough, just another callback to a fan favorite, I suspect, from the series. I really love that hat. I wish Dark Souls 3 had the version without the mask, because I like the hat more than I like the mask itself. But I'm still happy that it's here, and it's actually a really good mask to have around if you happen to be hollowed. It's kind of like a nice fashionable item that you can wear while hiding your gross jerky face. But now we have Patches here in Firelink Shrine.
Ah, oh, you're alive. Now, hold your horses. Let's have a nice talk about this. I'll come clean. I did you wrong. I didn't mean it, though. Not one bit. You get these urges, running the business and all, and I hate myself for it. I do. You know what I mean. Terrible, really. But I can see you'll forgive me. You're alive, after all. And that's what counts, right?
Patches, come on, buddy.
Oh, for heaven's sake, no need to jest with a face like that. You're still alive, and I'm here grovelling in the dirt, so to speak. Oh, I know. Here, a token of my sincerity. Right and proper, huh?
Ooh, a fancy coin.
We're just a couple of outcasts. Let's make the best of it.
Typical Patches.
Ah, I see you've met Greyrat. The slinking rodent. But he did me a good turn back in Lothric Dungeon. Doubtless I should do something about that little dead. Well, maybe not. Well, I can hardly believe he's still standing. That's down.
Okay. As for the items he sells, they remain the same as before, with the exception of this ring. Horse Hoof Ring. Boosts kick effect. An old ring with a seal depicting a horse hoof. Boosts kick effect. Unbreakable Patches adored this ring and the feeling that it gave him when he kicked his marks into the depths of treacherous traps, but suffered no shortage of ridicule from his associates for relying so heavily on the tired old trick. But who is the sorrier? The horse who knows only to kick, or the fool who approaches the old beast without thought? Very Patches item indeed. I don't know. We'll buy it. I don't imagine this ring is actually super useful, but we'll buy it for Patches.
Thanks, sweetie.
And I'm not not equipping it right now. I don't feel like that. Alrighty. I do believe that wraps up everything we have to do here in Firelink. He lied. Let me actually just check something real quick. Let's see. Be down this way. Nope. Okay. Just making sure. I forget the exact trigger on the whatever it is I'm looking for. But it hasn't happened yet, so no worries there. Hawkwood is back in the shrine, but I have the feeling
Gaining admission.
he has nothing new to say. That's fine. We've kept him waiting quite a while anyway, to be fair. Just like I've kept you waiting. So, let's head back out into the world. This time, we're heading back to the Crucifixion Woods so that we can pursue the alternate route that was available to us previously. And in so doing, we're going to be encountering one of the more, well, somewhat frustrating areas in the game, I think it's fair to say. Especially, what was that crab? Especially if you're playing online, this area can be very rough to get through. Lucky for us, we are not. Oh, dev message. Turn back. Shut up. There must be a message left by the watchdogs of Farron, who would rather we not enter their domain. Farron Keep. Alright, so this is the keep we've been hearing so much about. But to me it just looks like a filthy poison swamp. The unholy pairing of Blighttown and the Valley of Defilement from Demon Souls. Ah, boy. Well, thankfully... Hey, more development messages. Yeah, we've been told about that, but I guess I appreciate them including extra notice. Got our slugs back. Dark Souls 1 from Demon Souls. Get the ragged mask. Rag that covers the wearer's mouth. Likely a makeshift item that helped reduce the intake of various poisonous and noxious fumes. It does indeed have higher poison resist. This is one of the other few items in the game that somewhat allows us to see our own face. I'm going to roll with it because it doesn't look that bad, but unfortunately it is, you know, this kind of dirty looking rag. Many, including myself, mourn the fact that the black leather set, Dark Souls 1 for females, the black leather set, instead of being the hood that it is now. Oh, we didn't purchase it, but it's like a full body mask and hood now. But in the past, for the females, not the males, it was just a simple black face mask that, I don't know, it looked fairly elegant, and it was nice for people who wanted that sort of look. Actually, now that I think about it, I did prepare a certain pyromancy that might help us here. Disgusting profuse sweat. It doesn't cure poison that we've already succumbed to, but it's supposed to increase all your resistances. So I don't know, we will see. Let's head over here to this sunken tower. Pick up another Estus shard. Looks like deer or something have been strung up on these crosses. There we go. splash. Profuse sweat is gross looking, but we are already ankle deep in filth, so I suppose we really shouldn't complain too much about filth. Interesting that many of the crucifixions here, crosses are here, are the standard type of crucifix? Yeah, I don't know, cross. As opposed to like the very circular kind we're seeing here. It's probably just to add some variety. Let's have these crudely hewn metal symbols mounted to trees. Possibly a mark of territory? I don't know. Stone Parma. And attached to all these trees are these fairly gross looking, are they like eggs or something? Maybe this is something the slugs are leaving behind, or some other associated filth. Your guess is as good as mine. Let's actually take a look at the stone Parma real quick. It is a regular size shield. A round stone shield once carried by an old knight who turned to stone himself. It has powerful defensive properties for its size, but it's extremely heavy. Not heavy enough to overburden us, so I think I'm going to go ahead and equip it. It's got really good stability, 100% physical resistance. The only real downside is that it doesn't have strong elemental resistances, and it doesn't oh crap, I'm poisoned again. It doesn't do anything for its elemental. I totally lost my train of thought. Sorry. Totally lost my train of thought there. What's nice about it though is it does using it, it's a weapon skill shield, so for shields that are, or for weapons that benefit more for that, it's a good go-to. Over here in the distance, by this tower, we have yet another dark wraith waiting for us. So let's do our best not to get destroyed by him. Oh, missed a backstab. Saw he tried to use the life drain art on us there. Ah, useless. We've been over this in the past, but very useless, it seems to me, the R2 of the broadsword. I guess I kind of like the advancing part, but it just, there's no hyper armor, and since there's no poise, you can't even really make a decent trade with it. Bah, humbug. Within here, we've got another important item, the Sage's Coal. And we're relatively safe, so let's take a quick look at these two items we just picked up. No, 3, I suppose. Poison gem. A gem of infused titanite, discovered in the rotted forest of Farron. Used in infusion to create poison weapons. Such weapons inflict poison-laced damage that gradually eats away at foes. Straightforward enough. Sage's Coal. Coal used for weapon infusion. The white magic flame produced by this coal was given to the Undead Legion long ago by one of the Crystal Sage twins. Give to the blacksmith in the shrine to allow the use of gems for crystal, blessed, and dark infusion. So the Crystal Sage we whacked earlier gave this coal to Farron to assist them. And oh, I briefly went back to farming in between episodes so I could get one of their weapons. Ultra great sword wielded by the Knights of the Cathedral of the Deep. Highly destructive, if intolerably heavy. Its blade is flattened for use as a strike weapon, but the point end allows for thrusting. Let's just check our health, make sure we're not dying of poison over here. We got these from patches. A rusty old gold coin that surely has no currency. Crushing the coin gives a large, if temporary, boost to item discovery. A rich man lost his fortune, but it returned to him twofold. He was swift to squander his retrieved fortune, smugly confident that it was bound to double once again. Let's see, we got a piece of the Dark Wraith armor here. Dark leggings. Leggings of the Dark Wraiths, relics of a small country that fell to the dark long ago. Looks as if they may crumble to dust at any moment. The Dark Wraiths were the oldest of the Red Eye invaders, and rumored to have served a primordial servant. So there's just a little bit more of what we already know. The Dark Wraiths, servants of Darkstalker Kath. And since we're here having a good old time, why don't we look at that Firekeeper set. Firekeeper robe. Robe worn by the guardian of the shrine. The Firekeepers were robbed of light to better serve as vessels for souls. Only those who cherished the writhing, searing darkness were given the Keeper's black attire. And I believe, yeah, the rest of the set says similar. So Firekeepers were robbed of light, i.e. their sight, in order to become better vessels for souls. I wonder what about being blind makes you a better vessel for souls. I can certainly understand it bringing you closer to the dark, to the nature of humanity, on account of being constantly steeped in the dark. So right here we have one of my very much disliked enemy types in this game. They're kind of goat-like creatures, as you might be able to tell. There's a handful of different varieties of them, which most of them aren't too bad, but this one right here, the ones you find without weapons and standing straight up, I really hate these guys, and hopefully you're not going to see why. Hopefully they won't destroy me. Nice one. So that running thing he just did, us with a crap. There we go. It is a grab that has a huge hitbox. Can chase you down. And it seems to power up these assholes. They do this irritating fucking jumping attack, which can very easily, if you start swinging at them, they can still use this attack out of a combo. You'll miss them, they'll hit you, life is gonna suck. I fucking hate these guys. There you go, definitely a goat. Except for these weird little vestigial, what are these, like wings, or like extra arms or wings or limbs or something? It's very curious. And in some ways their appearance actually does resemble the Corvians, though not quite. Maybe they are some... Once the this area became tainted and fetid after the Watchers linked the fire, something clearly happened to the inhabitants. Maybe it also affected the Corvians. Oh, something's up there. Wrap around here, grab some more Titanite, because we love Titanite. Let's go over here and explore these items. Explore the items! Explore the area for these items. Here we have some weaponless ones, but they're not nearly as irritating as the ones that are standing upright. These guys just kind of charge you dumbly. Try to get attacks in. They have far less HP than the standing ones, too. But here we go. Classic swamp. You can't really run through it. You can only bat roll through it. And this time, to the best of my knowledge anyway, there is no rusted iron ring to help us out. Great sword. guys aren't coming after us, are they? This ultra great sword with its thick blade is one of the heaviest of its kind, highly destructive, if intolerably heavy. There would appear to be some credence to the rumors that this sword tested the true limits of human strength. And as a stomp, use one's weight to lunge forward with a low stance and increased poise, and follow with a strong attack for a spinning slash. A weapon that's been in Dark Souls. In this particular, it resembles the weapon used by Black Iron Tarkus in Dark Souls 1, but this exact model wasn't introduced until Dark Souls 2. And many people have pointed out its resemblance to the Dragon Slayer wielded by Guts in Berserk. Very kind of cool, big-ass weapon. One I'm thinking we are going to actually try using. But right now, we don't quite meet the requirements for it. So we're gonna set that hunk of metal aside for now. Can't be called a sword. It's more like a large hunk of iron. Miyazaki loves his Berserk. I've only just recently started to read some of it, but can't blame him. It's a very cool world set up in that manga. Over here we got some purple moss clumps. You know, there is not nearly enough purple moss in this area for what the kind of shit we have to deal with. But we have a few, just in case we need them. While I remember, let's toss a fire orb. I mean, let's use profuse sweat. See if it helps any. This will be a real test of efficacy. It barely does a goddamn thing. All right, useless. That's good to know. Whatever. So walking through this is miserable, right? Pyromancer's not helping us. Let's equip the Thrall Axe. Not to attack with, but to use the weapon skill, which is... Oh, we might attack a little bit with it. It is, for me, by far the best use of the sidestep weapon art, is to move somewhat effectively through the swamp, because you can do it even once your FP bar is emptied out. You can still use this maneuver. As you can see, just pop about. So I'm a fan of having at least one of these kinds of weapons around, just in case. Well, let's head up here so that we can catch our bearings. God, he just threw a piece of shit at me. I think he missed. I don't need that in my life too. And right here, if you recall, we have to extinguish flames to gain admittance. And we have a very interesting mural here. A mass of skeletons. Not something I noticed myself when I went through the game, but Epic Namebro pointed out that all of these flames are going to have different murals on them, and each mural, or bas-relief, or stone sculpture, whatever you want to call it, looks like it depicts one of the holders of the Lord Souls from Dark Souls 1. It's like a Resident Evil cutscene, isn't it? So there you go. Extinguish the fires, gain entrance to the Abyss Watchers, who are presumably hanging out in that structure. But for that, if we head this way, we have this nice little barrier waiting for us. Let's see. All of these would put me overweight, so maybe we'll try to pull them out with our trusty throwing knives, which I admit I have not used a ton of, but when they're useful, okay, when they're useful, they're useful. Fuck you, Mr. Gru. Spoilers: these pieces of shit are called Gru. You can tell I'm not a fan. In my opinion, they can all rot, which they are in the process of doing, so that's good. Yeah, fuck you, buddy. Apparently they don't like fire, because I just did a crazy amount of damage. Well, thank you for the item anyway. Saves me just a little bit more farming. Look at that asshole. Oh, we lost our lock. Whatever, we're leaving him there. Here we have a much needed bonfire within the keep itself. Light this up, pop squat, get our Estus back, and let's head forward. Here we can see is the location with the door we saw in the cutscene. So up over this hill would be where the Abyss Watchers lie. And if we take a look, there's something going on over that way that we're interested in. And somewhere around here, there's another item we're going to be interested in. But first, sorry for that rambling bit, but first we're going to head over here. And this huge mass of slugs. Maybe we will have a use for our pyromancy flame, after all. You guys enjoy. About time. Our starter pyromancer got some use out of pyromancy. Make this area more manageable for us. Another undead bone shard. We are happy to see those. Actually, I forgot. I need to remain, irksome as it is, I need to remain embered here for, you know, reasons. Oh boy. Off in the distance. That's like a king motherfucker Gru. Aha, that's where it is. Here's the next thing we really wanted to find within the scope of this episode. This ladder ascending upwards. Let's go. And I apologize if I don't go heavy in the lore in the next couple of episodes. I will do my best, but Farron Keep is a very, very large area, and there won't always be lore to talk about. That said, oh damn. What do we have here? Large wolf. I can't tell. It doesn't appear to be... doesn't appear to be moving at all. I think it's dead, to be honest. But the power of the Covenant still remains. Pray to old wolf of... Woof. It's a problem for me. The Old Wolf of Farron. Legion Etiquette. Watchdogs of Farron Covenant. Alrighty. So, doesn't have anything to talk to us about. But if we look amongst all the debris here, we see clearly masks of those exiles that we fought before. There's an interesting bird-like masks there. Huh. I don't know if those... Are those part of the Watcher mask? I'm not sure, but these helmets are definitely going to be either familiar to you already or will be familiar to you later. Huh. Looks like the wolf's has a tail ring. And a paw ring of some kind. Sorry, I've never paid this much attention to the old wolf before, so no details that we can discern. Its eyes are either closed or like hollowed out. And there are countless scraps of armor stacked up all around it. So this is what provided the legacy of Wolf's Blood. I don't think this is Sif or anyone like that, the great Grey Wolf from Dark Souls 1, but maybe Sif got some action before he died, and this is one of his descendants. Hard, if not impossible to say, but let's check out that item, the Covenant item we got from him. Ancient medallion depicting the crest of a wolf. Symbolizes the pact with the old wolf of Farron, equipped to pledge oneself to the watchdogs of Farron. The watchdogs ensure that warriors sleep in serenity by taking the form of loyal spirits and hunting down those who would trespass the woods of Farron. Summoning takes place automatically while this is equipped. So that's cool. So when I first entered down the path of sacrifices, I had mentioned that it had appeared as if it was familiar, like it seemed very familiar to me. And I think the main reason for that is it reminded me a lot of the Darkroot Garden from Dark Souls 1. And I kind of get the impression, based on some of the items we get, or we've gotten, and like the fact that there are like forest guardians here protecting over the graves of the dead, that is the exact same situation as it was with the, well, Forest Guardian Covenant in Dark Souls 1. So this may be the Darkroot Garden in its modern day state. It bears thinking about anyway. Let's do some quick adjustments here on the fly. Damn it. There we go. So, why did I randomly switch up our armor? Well, let's just say I'm not sure if a fire sword is what I want to be using for the next encounter here. An old friend, so to speak. Players of Dark Souls 1 are going to recognize that as the Stray Demon slash Asylum Demon slash Fire Sage Demon, since they reused the model that many times. In our case, or in this game's case, I do believe it to be the Stray Demon. We're going to do our best to engage it without undue embarrassment. He's got some tricks that he hasn't had in the past, though. Ow! Such as highly broadcasted swing. Here's the classic drop attack. He's a bit more formidable than he was in the past, so you want to be careful fighting him. Oop, that's a grab attack. Ah! Struggle, struggle, struggle. We must struggle. Ah, break free. For all the good it'll do us. Oh ho! That was some close shit. Let's get back in there. Uh-oh. Having difficulties, my friend. Have you too crumbled to ash? Bam! Soul of a Stray Demon. Give him a proper send-off. Now that I've gone and changed it, I kind of like it. maybe a little bit later. May as well, I don't know, throw this on? Who cares, right? Who cares? Alright, we're back to our industrious selves. Very cool fight. Very cool encounter. That's a good example of revisiting an old enemy the right way. Pardon the silence, just taking a few sips of my tea. Rocking a Formosa oolong today. Helps when you have to talk for a while to have a bit of tea on the side. Alright, so having beat him, we see this fucked up texture. That's fresh. Having beat the Stray Demon, we're gonna wrap around here. There's a bit more to pillage. And as you might be able to tell, great fucking views as usual, but there's Lothric. We're actually up on the high bridge now. Below us, Farron Keep, the Crucifixion Woods. There's the outpost where we fought the Crystal Sage. We wrapped up and entered the Cathedral of the Deep. And over there's the halfway fortress. Which means somewhere around the bend has got to be, right? There's got to be the Giant's old tower. Or the old Giant's tower? The Giant's, whatever. Okay, so we've got some crystal lizards all messed up around here. And if I play my cards right, I should be able to get all of them. That's one. Large Titanite. Highly valuable item. More large Titanite. Excellent. And we have one of these dragons, wyverns, drakes, whatever you want to call them, having crashed down on this bridge. Thankfully dead, because I wouldn't want to have to deal with that on top of everything else. Let's see if we can nail this crystal lizard as well. He's a little bit more tricky than his brethren, as he puts us right up here next to these enemies. Been a while since we've dealt with these old deserter types, right? They don't particularly scale to meet the challenge of a stronger player. Oh, crafty little thief. Maximum disrespect. Oh boy. Yeah, there's the undead settlement. The Giant's Tower must be just obscured by the gate over there, which you should be able to see has a good number of those pilgrims scattered on it. That must be where we discovered Yol a long time ago now in the play. Somewhere up there is the gate where those bat demons carried us down from. We've got one pilgrim who made it just a wee bit farther than everyone else. Slightly discolored. I don't know if that's just the sun or what, but maybe he was charred or something by the demon. I don't know. But he's got nothing to say. He's quite dead. Not sure what the significance, if any, is of him being here. Oh look, there's still one alive. Pound of flesh. They always have to take their pound of flesh. No items up here, but it does provide us a way to return back down to the other side. And without even having to take damage. Very generous. Alright, so let's head back down to the wolf bonfire. I had activated this lift previously just in case we died, just to save time. Well, since we did well, we're not saving any time at all. So it goes. Alrighty guys. I'm going to end this episode with doing one thing in particular, because it'll start us off well for the following episode. Let's head back to Firelink Shrine. Alrighty, everything is as we left it. We did get a soul of a stray demon, so let's take a quick peek at that first and foremost. Let's see, the stray demon, now lacking even a trace of flame, was once the gatekeeper of Lothric. So Lothric had somehow employed or positioned a demon to guard its gates. It was quite bereft of flame by the time we encountered it. It basically crumbled underneath our assault. Also of note, Dream Chaser's ashes. Umbral ash of one who dreamt of joining the undead legion. With this, the shrine handmaid will prepare new items. In the end, the dream chasers who wandered aimlessly in the rotted forest found a sense of fulfillment. And if you look at what is being held in the hand of this particular set of ashes, it looks sort of like the pendant from Dark Souls 1, an item which was said to be imbued with sentimental value and bore the brunt of a massive amount of speculation in the end it turned out just to be kind of a troll by Miyazaki. Truly was an item that had no secrets or gameplay mechanics tied to it, but it was a nice kind of lore related sentimental item.
Aha, Valdred, so.
But in exchange for the Soul of the Stray Demon, we can gain access to a pyromancy called Boulder Heave. Spew a boulder from one's mouth. Art of a stray demon of stifled flame. Spews a boulder from one's mouth. The boulder is heavy but shatters easily. Or we could make Havel's Ring. A ring for warriors keen on heavy accoutrements. Increases maximum equip load. This ring was named after Havel the Rock, the battlefield compatriot of Gwyn, the First Lord. The art of war has been a constant since ages past, and those who would follow in Havel's footsteps are no fewer now than in his own day. We are snapping that right the hell up, because god damn it if we don't want that extra equip burden. Get out of here, Poison by Ring. Alright, that taken care of. We get our first formal reference to Havel the Rock in Dark Souls 3. Kind of an important background lore figure in the Souls series. He was said to have been the first Archbishop of the Way of the White. I believe he was, as it said, an old battlefield compatriot of Gwyn, and he had a particular hatred for the magic arts, and Seath the Scaleless especially. But we'll get more into that as we discover more of Havel's legacy. The last thing I want to do for today's episode, though, is I want to talk to the Shrine Handmaid.
Ah, well met, Ashen One. How may I be of service? Ashen One, what woeful umbral ash is this? This barren dust, stuff of a fool, won't yield aught. Where didst thou happen upon the stuff? Tell me for the sport. Oh yes, I see. Clinging to lofty dreams in this dying world, more's the pity. It must come from one most foolish indeed. Wouldst thou not agree?
One of the very, I think basically the only umbral ash that she has a very strong or different reaction to. You can give her the ashes of NPCs that have, that inhabit the shrine that you've either killed or died, and she'll make a comment on their freshness, but this is the only ash I'm aware of that she takes any special personal interest in, which I feel like may very well be an important point, but we'll have to get into that in the next episode, along with checking out all the new items that we have available
Ashen
to
One.
us.
Huh.
I think what I'll be doing next is I'm going to try to, I don't know if I'll succeed, but I'm going to try to level up such that I can wield the great sword. We're going to put a few levels into it, try and get that up to a workable level, and I will see you guys then. We have quite a bit more going on in Farron, and soon some more stuff going on in Firelink Shrine as well. So I thank you for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a good one. Take care all.